What's up everybody, welcome back to the Art of Crypto, the birthplace of absolutely legendary gains. In this video we are going to discuss Solana and why I believe that it is about to start popping off. So if you want to figure out exactly which levels that you're going to want to pay attention to, make sure you stay around to the end of the video. And immediately before I dive right into it, if you haven't already followed me on Twitter, you're going to want to do so at _theartofcrypto. This is where I'm sharing the latest market updates as well as anything that I might not be able to share on YouTube due to time constraints, because contrary to popular belief, it does take quite a bit of time to make a video. So make sure you follow me on Twitter. And immediately let's dive right into it. So if we just draw a trend line for Solana, just something like that, right? It's not the most perfect trend line, but good enough. So if we just draw a trend line, something like this, then you can see that Solana, even though it has just dumped from about $176 back down to $144, it is still respecting this trend line. And if you guys watched my previous video about Solana, you might have realized that, hey, this trend line was something that might have been forming, but otherwise this is an incredibly bullish sort of pattern. Now, if I just bring your attention to another coin that I saw form this kind of a pattern, and that's going to be AXS. Now, if you notice, whenever AXS formed this bull pennant, right, this is way more of a textbook bull pennant, granted, right? But nevertheless, the moment I saw this kind of a pattern forming, as well as this kind of a consolidation pattern forming, I knew like, hey, AXS was about to pop off, and at the moment Solana is giving us that kind of a pattern as well. And like, if you saw my Solana USDT chart, I was telling you guys back then that, hey, Solana was about to break out, and I really hope you guys did buy the breakout, because you would have made about, I don't know, about 30% off of that, right? You hit 2 TP targets. But for now, let us pay attention to the next thing that is about to happen to Solana, and for that, we are going to need to mark down a couple of levels. Now, the first level we're going to need to mark down is this level right here at $169-ish, right? If you do get a breakout of that level, right, maybe not even 169, you could even buy the breakout of this point right here at $162, right? This is going to be the level that you're going to want to watch, because what's going to end up happening once Solana gets to this level is you're going to break out of that level, right? And what I'm going to want you to do is mark down this level and then buy the breakout of that level, or buy the bullish retest of that level. The reason you're going to want to pay attention, or rather the reason why you're going to want both of these kinds of entries, is the fact that you can set your stop loss right below the pattern, right? Because a breakout is supposed to break out, it's not supposed to come back down. And if it does come back down, then hey, you just get stopped out at a minimal loss. And that's perfectly fine, you know? Some of the best traders in the world are wrong about half the time, and yet they are still wildly profitable. It does not matter what your win rate is. What matters is your risk management. Always remember that. So that's going to be the first entry for Solana. That is going to be in the bullish scenario, and the take profit targets is going to be, now I'm going to give you take profit targets based on the daily chart. And right now, if we just draw a fib retracement from that swing high to this swing low, we get like some all-time high profit taking levels. And if you notice that I am placing my TP targets just a tiny bit below the fib levels, right? If you notice that, and that's because like in trading, you're trying to take other people's money, right? It's as simple as that. In trading, when you lose money, you're not really losing money. It's somebody else taking your money. So wouldn't it make sense that, hey, if everyone is going to be using fibs, then we're going to take their money before they take ours, right? So we're going to take the profits before they do, right? And that's the concept that I'm going for. So anyways, the price targets for Solana ultimately is going to be at about $372. However, it is going to take a while to reach that level. I'm not saying that it's going to be impossible. Many would have thought that AXS would never have reached the level of $150, right? That is absolutely insane that a game could do that well. And this again goes to show that in crypto, when you are in a bull market, it can be incredibly irrationally bullish for a very long period of time. And because of that, you really do not want to fight against the trend. If the trend is telling you that, hey, it's going up, then you buy, right? Don't try to short this. So if you just take a look at a weekly chart, you can see what I mean, right? Does this or does this not look incredibly bullish, right? You've got a swing low here, you've got a swing high here, and then you form a swing low here, and then you form like a lower high, but then you form a high low, and right now you're forming a high. Like, if I just hide all my drawings right now, does this or does this not look incredibly bullish, right? When you zoom out, this just becomes like a consolidation phase for the next move upwards, right? It definitely does look that way, right? Over here, you get consolidation, bam, right? Over here, well, that doesn't really count because, well, actually, if I go back to Solana USDT, maybe, yeah, doesn't really count either. So whenever you are in doubt, always just zoom out. and then you'll get a very clear picture, right? Basically, until Solana, like even if Solana were to get all the way down to about $50 or $60, that is still incredibly bullish, right? Because this whole block right here, this whole block is going to become a bullish order block. And if you don't know what a bullish order block is, it's basically just an area where institutions like to push the price of assets down to or up to in order to, you know, it's basically where they do the majority of their trading at. Meanwhile, retail is going to be the ones getting caught up in all of this, right? Institutions, they like to place their orders at areas of very high liquidity, and that's going to be the order blocks, right? Something like this. So even if Solana were to retrace all the way back down to $60, that is still incredibly bullish, right? You are not bearish until you break $20. I know that sounds very hard to imagine, but fact of the matter is, you know, when you zoom out, you know, whenever you are in doubt, zoom out and you can see exactly just how bullish this looks. So back down to the daily chart, that is going to be the level that you are going to want to pay attention to. However, in the event that Solana does go down, because over here we are all grand strategists, we always take into account both sides of the equation rather than just getting fixated on any single, you know, level or bias. So let's discuss that. In the event that Solana does dump, right, you can absolutely take a short, right? You want to mark down this level right here at $145. You're going to want to mark that down, and in the event that Solana does break below that level, then you can take a short, right? Similar to the breakout, right? That is going to be the bullish, you know, scenario. You can also short the breakdown or a bearish retest, because both of these will allow you to set your stop loss right above that level. And if you do get stopped out, then hey, it's a failed trade and it was worth a shot, because ultimately that's what trading is, right? It's just taking calculated gambles that have historically been proven to be bullish, right? I mean, historically proven to be profitable. And at the moment, if you feel like you've learned a thing or two from this video, it would help me so much if you could just drop a like button. It's a really small gesture, but it really helps me out a lot. So in the event that Solana were to dump, right, you can short the breakdown, and the take profit target for that is going to be, the first TP is going to be at $131, second one is going to be at about $117, and the third one is going to be at about $98. Now, if it does get even lower, then I want you to take everything at $82, right? If you do short the breakdown and Solana drops all the way back down here, I want you to sell close all of your position here and make sure you buy Solana at $82. Like this block between $82 and $68, like $69-ish, is going to be such a strong block that if you do get Solana at this block right here, I'm going to pretty much guarantee that that's going to be very close to the bottom, or if not the bottom, right? If not the bottom. So in the event that you do crash all the way down here, you're really going to want to pay attention to this block between 82 to 68, and you're definitely going to want to buy heavily there. Otherwise, in the event that Solana does dump, right, just to teach you how to use the take profits, right, whether it be up or down, you want to take your profit on the way up, right? So as Solana is going up, maybe you take 25% here, you take 25% here, and you leave the rest as a moon bag, maybe take the rest at 300, right? That's just going to be an example. Now, in the event that it does dump, then I want you to make sure to take your profit at each level, because shorting is way riskier than going long. So maybe when it reaches $131, you take 25% off here, you take 25% off, 25% off here, and then you take the rest here, right? You always want to secure your profit on the way down. You never want to mess around with not taking profit and being too greedy, right? You don't want it to go all the way down here and all the way back up here and you did not take a single cent of profit and then you get stopped out. That is just painful. So make sure you pay attention to that. And now back to the topic of, hey, if it does dump, where do you start buying? Now, my personal recommendations is that if it does dump, right, if it does start dumping, I want you guys to start buying at around $116.5. right? These three levels, 116.5, $98, $82, $74, and $68.5, right? These are going to, you want to split your buys up into these 5 areas. I'm not saying that it's going to get all the way to $68 or $74 for that matter, but if it does, like the lower it gets, I want you to buy more. Right now, I'm giving you the areas of value that you should be buying Solana in the event that it dips. And trust me when I say that if you do dollar cost average all the way down here, you are going to be in a superb position for a swing long, right? If you buy Solana at around this level, for the next few months, you're absolutely set. For those of you who were in my private group, you would have remembered when I called AXS at $15, right there. I called it at $15. It came all the way down to about $14, right? I missed the bottom just by about $1. And ever since then, we have not retested this area for very, very long. In fact, from that point onwards, we have managed to get almost a 9x on our money. And to those of you in the private Discord group, congratulations. But this is the kind of entry that I give you guys if you join the private group. On eGold as well, I managed to snipe eGold at about $65, right? $65, right there. right there. It went down to about 65.01. That's where I got it. And ever since then, you can see that, bam, it's just been going up. Right now, we're sitting at a very comfortable 3 to 4x. And if you guys are interested to get this kind of sniper entries, make sure you join the private Discord group. That is where I'm going to be calling all of it. And just on a side note, for those of you who have watched until this point in the video, you know that I always like to give you guys a bonus trade. And this trade is going to be e-gold, right? I want you to mark down this level at $260. You're going to similarly want to buy the breakout, right? This pattern is an incredibly bullish pattern. And in the event that you do get a breakout, I do believe that e-gold is about to go to form another all-time high. Again, whenever you are in doubt, just zoom out, okay? So the take profit targets for the upper, the all-time high levels, I'm going to draw it out right now, and then I'm going to read it out to you. I'm also going to read out the Solana take profit levels as well. For me, I'm going to be taking the majority of my e-gold back at about $500. That's me personally, but I got it back at $65. So that is going to be a very comfortable, close to 10x, right? And again, if you want to get access to all of these kinds of these trades, make sure you join the private Discord group. That is where I'm going to be sharing all of my sniper trades, as well as all the other trades that I'm calling, which have been making people quite a little bit of money. You can see that we have people making money every single day over here, and let's just say that it's going to pay itself off real quick. As a bonus, you're going to get access to basically market updates on the daily, right? In real time, I'm going to give you guys market updates every single day, and that is to ensure that you guys are going to be making informed investment decisions, right? I'm going to tell you, hey, what's going on in the markets today and what you should be doing, right? Should you be careful? Should you go balls to the walls? Just something like that. As well as you're going to get access to the trading education, where I lay down everything that I've learned over the years, and this is where you're going to learn what works and discard 90% of the things that don't work. So if you're interested, make sure you check out the link in the description. But for now, let's get back into the take profit targets for e-gold. So in the event that you do get a breakout of this level, I do believe that e-gold is going to absolutely pump like crazy, and the take profit levels are going to be at about $290, $315, $330, $350, 378-ish, 424, and everything at $500, right? Everything. I'm probably going to take a majority of my e-gold back over there. Now, if you might be wondering, hey, how did I know that e-gold is going to get to that level? Well, to put it very, very simply, I was just trading, more of a swing. I was just trying to snipe a swing bottom, and that is what I'm doing with Solana as well. So make sure you pay attention to these Solana levels. I do believe that the swing bottom, right, similar to e-gold, is going to happen somewhere between 82 and 68. It might be months and maybe even longer, or maybe we might never get there. But if you do get there, make sure you buy Solana at that level. But otherwise, make sure you mark down 162, and the take profit levels for this breakout trade over here is going to be at 177, 195, 212-ish, 225, 240, 254, 275, 312, and $370. That is going to be the final take profit target. I'm not saying that Solana is going to get there, but if it does get there, make sure you take the rest. For me, I'm personally banking on $300 to be a local top before it starts, retracing pretty hard and going back into another, couple month consolidation before popping off again. That is how markets usually work. And if you guys have been following my channel for a while, then you would understand that concept. But otherwise, may the gains be with you, my friend, and peace.